Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a very happy Friday here. So, the market is doing very, very well. As we know here, my watch list is opening up and we're seeing some stocks really start to blast up here. Roku's up 3% already. DoorDash is flying up as well. Even good old Nvidia up almost 3%. Look at Nvidia and AMD breaking out right now, guys. AMD is exploding up above $100 a share, which is a key price point for AMD. That was a pretty big resistance yesterday in the middle of the day, and now we are ripping right back up here. So thank you guys so much for joining today. Like I said, it's an amazing day. Good morning, Sean, Mike, Hunter, Vicky, Jamie, George, G. Rocha. Hope everybody's having a great morning. Yes, Sean, that is Powell laughing it up there in the thumbnail. That is, I thought it was pretty funny. Hey, the market warrants some happy faces here, and hey, I'll take it. We're seeing some stocks finally breaking out. Keisha says, morning, guys. I've missed the bulls. Yeah, me too, Keisha. Thanks for joining up. I'm so glad that the bulls are back here. It's always nice to see your stocks running up. AMD's running. I know DraftKings is just kind of sitting around, a little stagnant here so far today. We have Unity, though, also flying up like 5% here. I've been loving Unity over the past couple months. I mean, I've been just waiting to grab this one, and I hope that it starts forming a good support so we can pick some up here. It does look like right now this setup is amazing with Unity. Zoom is up 2%. Looks like they're continuing their nice uptrend here. They're almost up to $110. And look at Zoom on this daily chart, guys. I don't know about you, but this setup is starting to look pretty bullish. I know earlier in the week, Mike and I were talking, and the way that Zoom was pretty much moving with their price action, with the way some dojis were forming there, and there was a pretty good support there. We were kind of expecting a bit of a pop, but man, it really kept going this week, all the way up to almost 110 now. So I'm just happy that it got above 100, but yeah, back up to 110. We're now breaking that high from that move with earnings there. So yeah, guys, great day, great movement so far out of the market. Definitely looking hot today for sure. Let me know what you guys want to see. Lots of stocks are running. I know we have good old AMC running up here. Even good old GameStop is moving. So lots of stocks are running. And guys, don't forget to smash that like button. If you smash the like button, it might help YouTube promote the stream a little bit more and different things like that. So who knows? We'll get some more viewers in here and potentially have a lot more fun. So yeah, smash that like button, guys. Don't forget to tell your friends about the stream too. If they are interested in the stock market or anything like that. But yeah, this movement is awesome. So leading my watch list up, like I talked about before now, is DoorDash. Once again, they're up 6.3%. I'm noticing a lot of stocks like Fastly starting to climb up to the top of my watch list here. They're up 3.7 to 4%. We have RUN also up like 3.4. A lot of these growth stocks, guys, are breaking out. I will say there is a couple stocks red here. It looks like, unfortunately, Baba is pulling back a little bit. And guys, I want to point this out with Baba because they are on a huge trend line. So for all of my technical analysis guys out there, I want you to see this trend line because it has been insane with Baba over the past couple years and couple months off of this trend line. So you can see that we've seen rejection at this trend line time and time again with Baba's price action ever since the beginning of the year. And honestly, if we go to that max daily chart, this has been going on since even the beginning of like last year and even further. So, Baba's been really staying under this trend line here. Once again, as we can see on the 5-minute chart, we touched that trend line again, and now we're coming right back down. So it's a little bit unfortunate with these China stocks, but definitely watch this, guys, because I feel like if Baba starts to break, it can have another big run, kind of like it did with earnings. So hopefully we continue to see the nice movement with Baba, and maybe it will break back up. But I did want to point this out because some stocks are down in the red. I noticed we have Exxon and Mobil also moving down. Looks like some of these defense plays like Lockheed Martin, for example, are kind of in the red a little bit. So yeah, definitely not the best day for those types of stocks. But hey, the growth is amazing. Even the space stocks like SPCE is ripping back up. We're almost back up to $7 a share with them. We have ASTR trying to rip up. It's only up like 1.2%, but obviously SPCE is running up with a lot more momentum there. I also noticed, guys, Tesla. I know we always talk about Tesla here. They're running up above yesterday's high, and ever since pre-market today, they've been kind of popping. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes on Tesla. They're another one of those stocks that are running here. But yeah, good morning. Thank you, Paul. Sean says check out Plug. Yeah, PLUG. Let's see it. Yeah, Sean, that's a big pop with Plug here, 3.8%. This one actually does have some pretty good intraday momentum. It looks like it might be continuing for a while. So hopefully we see that one keep going, Sean. Thanks for the comment there. And yeah, Plug's running. What are some other ones like Plug Power? I guess you could say Charge Point. Yeah, look at Charge Point. They're running up too. Blink. Blink's doing pretty good as well. So yeah, Sean, nice stocks there. I guess what would you call that? Those EV charging stocks. But yeah, they're looking hot here. J Deep says check out the airlines. Let's see. AAL, good old American Airlines here. Yeah, wow, J Deep. This might be one of my favorite setups today, actually, because I know those airlines really ripped yesterday, and they are having a very nice continuation. I wonder how, like, the cruise lines are doing, and yeah, even they're exploding. Look at RCL, Royal Caribbean. That's a very nice run to the upside. Same thing with Carnival Cruise Lines. This is actually very nice to see. So they're up above 1350, which was a pretty big resistance here. So they are starting to move. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, J Deep. Yeah, a lot of these airlines, cruise lines, and different things like that are running. I know Delta is one of my favorite airlines to look at. Yeah, they're up to $42. I bet Boeing's up. Yeah, Boeing's up too, back up to 130. So yeah, that's amazing to see Boeing running up with those airlines. I know Boeing was getting extremely, extremely low here on that daily chart. So we just needed to see like a bit of an uptrend again. So it's about time, I'll say, with some of these stocks. Sean says Dell's popping. Let's see, DELL. Holy Sean, this is up 17%. This one's really moving here with after those earnings from last night. That's very nice to see. I haven't even been paying attention to these guys' earnings, to be honest. Let me see like what they have here. Wow, yeah, it looks like some banks actually looked like they also maintained buy ratings on Dell. Some of them raised their price targets, some of them lowered them. It looks like Morgan Stanley lowered their price target. Deutsche Bank also lowered their price target, but Raymond James maintained their outperform weighting on Dell here, but they raised their target to $58. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. All these guys are starting to like lower and raise their targets. So that's interesting. But yeah, it looks like they're doing very well after those earnings. I know a lot of people are like, for example, they're lowering the price target from like, for example, to $56 from $60. So there's still some upside potential here up to 56 maybe. So definitely keep that on the radar, guys. A lot of those banks are predicting like $56, $58, and that's pretty much like the general price target I was seeing from those ones that changed at least this morning. So yeah, good call out there, Sean. That one's really running up. So yeah, glad to see that. On my watch list here, I noticed that Rivian is another one of those stocks kind of popping back to the upside here today, and they are starting to really break above $30, which is nice. Almost up to 30. It looks like they're just slightly breaking that resistance from earlier last week, or yeah, late last week on Friday. Yeah, if they could get up to like above $31, it would be pretty crucial today, but it might be a little bit tough. You know, they're already almost up to that same like level that they ran up yesterday. So yeah, 5% already, guys. I mean, the market really ripped this morning. Like, I hope you guys didn't miss some of those moves, because man, it started really going. One of my favorite stocks lately has been Asana, because of all the big order flow money that's been going in with a lot of people, like for example, what was the big one here with Asana? Oh, Moskovitz. Yeah, Moskovitz. I can't remember his first name. Dustin Moskovitz, I think. But one of the old co-founders of Facebook actually has like $1 billion in Asana, guys. So, you know, to see those insiders starting to put like billions of dollars into some of their companies, it's pretty big, and I hope that Asana can start to pop back up here. I will say he was putting a lot of that money in, I think back around like $40 or even like 50. So keep that in mind. But you know, the stock is starting to move back to the upside once again. But you know, Asana's having some great price action, and I just love the way it's popping up today. It's having some very nice momentum. Um, Keisha says, Tom, up 112% on Amazon. Thanks again. Yeah, Keisha, there you go. That's amazing. Glad you are playing that. You know, you caught that like right at the bottom, Keisha. So yeah, great play overall. No problem. Yeah, amazing hold by you too. You know, it's good that you kept holding it through this momentum, but yeah, it's looking very well here for you. So amazing trade, and I hope it just keeps going today. To be honest, I feel like Amazon might be one of those stocks that has a good chance to keep coming up here. I feel like that like Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, and a few of those stocks could start really recovering up. Facebook's actually about to break out, guys. I don't know if you guys are liking Facebook at all, but it is starting to really move up. Yeah, Hunter, I bet you that is why HPQ's killing it. I would guess that that's because of Dell, of course. It seems like some of those like older computer companies are doing quite well actually over the past couple of years, believe it or not. A lot better than I think people were like expecting. Especially through all this market volatility. I will say HPQ held up very, very well here within this range of like, you know, 33.50 to 34, and then a high of like $40. So yeah, very nice, Hunter. Yeah, it's running up in a nice way. Are you holding HPQ or something? Let's see. I know they have HPQ has its own earnings early next week. Let's see what is May 31st. They're going to be reporting on Tuesday next week, so that's going to be big there. Mike says, how was cost earnings? Yeah, actually they weren't as bad as people were thinking. So everybody kept thinking that Costco's earnings would obviously make the stock get destroyed, kind of like how Walmart, Target, and a lot of those other stocks did. But I have a feeling that their earnings were just a little bit priced in, Mike. But whenever I look at it overall here, like on the yearly, daily chart here, I mean, it's definitely holding its ground. It's coming back. Looks like that EPS stayed steady. Slightly beat the estimate there, but stayed very, very steady as of now. It looks like it was definitely one of those theta burners. The IV is kind of coming back down. I haven't went too in depth in the Costco's like actual numbers yet. I was gonna actually do that later on the stream today, so stick around. We'll do that later on. But yeah, they I know there's a lot of stuff going on with all these retail companies and everything like that. So definitely be on the lookout, guys, because these retail companies have been nuts. I'm sure that's kind of bleeding over into Walmart. Yeah, you can see they're all having like very similar uptrends this week. You know, just slight moves back to the upside. So, but yeah, at Costco, we'll get into those earnings in a little bit, Mike. But yeah, let's see some of these stocks running again here. Going to my watch list, I'm noticing, you know, at the top, it's just continuing to be like Square, Rivian, DoorDash, stocks like that. Square is starting to really run. I mean, I don't know if you guys are into Square at all, but look at this thing at the lows here. It's really low, and they've been getting kind of into like crypto and different things like that lately with the blockchain and other stuff. So, you know, if you guys are into that, it could be a pretty good play. I know that, you know, their CEO right now, Jack Dorsey, has been focusing mainly on them. You know, obviously he like left Twitter to focus on Block. So I'm curious to see where they end up going, but I think this will be one of those stocks that could be pretty good, you know, over the longer term, especially like as the market starts to truly recover back up. Going back to the SPY here though, let's see. Paul said, what was the next level on the SPY? So, you know, SPY's running up a lot today, Paul. We're almost up to 410. I would say 410 is going to be the main resistance level up here. I have a resistance actually like really close to where the high of day is. Mine's like right around like 410.35, 410.30, somewhere really close to there. We got pretty close, and now we're starting to pull back ever so slightly. Let's see it on that 180-day, 1 hour chart. Oh man, what happened here? That went crazy. What's happening here, guys? If I go to like the 180-day, 1 hour chart on SPY, it's like not loading anything. What the? That is strange, guys. I've never had that happen, actually. Yeah, and it's not me. Like, it's not me not being able to move the chart. It's, yeah, it's, like, actually, like messing up, which is weird. So, interesting. But I'll just go the 180-day, 4 hour chart then. So you can see how this level that we're sitting at, 410 on the SPY, Paul, is going to be very big, because you can see how SPY was dipping down a lot back in, like, February and March. And we're kind of bouncing like right off of that low right now. So there's a big resistance where those candles were back on, like, you could say like February 24th at the low. Yeah, February 24th, like at the low there was a pretty good low, like right around like 410, right where we are. So watch 410. I think that's going to be a crucial level today. The market's already been up so much over the past couple days. I don't even know if it can keep going up here over the next, few hours. I feel like that there might be a bit of a pullback. So just keep that in mind, guys, that, the market's not going to keep going up forever. And at some point here on this uptrend, we're going to start to see, some more downwards movement. But, I will say I'm definitely optimistic. I hope that this movement can continue. Just keep in mind, guys, always be aware of some slight pullbacks. This is a big resistance that we're at, after all. But it's always good to still see the stocks individually running, like good old Tesla. Of course, they're about to break their high of day, actually, and possibly start running back up above 740. I wonder how the banks are doing. JP Morgan, yeah, they're holding up pretty well. Looks like Bank of America's also up a little bit, so that's good to see. I feel like this is pretty good. Mike says, do you feel like this is a dead cat bounce, or are we out of the woods? I've been so fearful the last 7 weeks, I haven't averaged in on any of my holdings. Yeah, I'll tell you, Mike, it's definitely been crazy. I will say that with how low we are and how low we've been like falling over the past, 7 weeks, like you mentioned, I feel like that it's definitely a good time to average in now if you haven't averaged in yet. But just keep in mind, don't like over average in. Like if you maybe just get like a little bit now and then obviously wait a little bit longer and then maybe pick some up then. That'd probably be a better way to go, just in case the market does keep falling. Then you'll be able to always, keep grabbing some of those stocks down there a little bit lower. But, obviously you might miss some upside potential. I don't think that the selling's over yet, Mike. Overall, I don't think that the selling's done. It's just there's so many things affecting the market. The Fed is talking still about doing multiple 50 basis point rate hikes. And, I don't think that rate hikes always hurt the market, of course, but I will say that, the market was pretty bearish over the past few weeks whenever the Fed started doing a lot of things like this, especially with like just tightening in general, selling off bonds and securities and all types of different stuff that they've been doing. So it's going to be a wild ride. I think that that the selling isn't quite done yet. I will say the SPY has fallen quite a bit though. Like historically, the SPY doesn't really fall a lot more than 20. And if it does, then it usually ends up falling a lot more. So just keep that in mind. Mike made a really good video about this over the past couple weeks. Definitely check that out if you guys haven't yet. I can't remember the exact title of the video. I'll get it though and throw it into the I'll get the title of it and throw it into the comment section for you guys if you guys are interested. But it went over a ton of great like market metrics and different things like that. Showed a lot of great numbers. J Deep says Baba's dipping. Is it? Yeah, I know it was kind of in the red earlier, J Deep. Let's see how it is now. Yeah, down 3.2%, unfortunately. I went over this a little bit earlier, J Deep. So look at this blue trend line here on Alibaba. For all my guys into technicals, Alibaba is on a crucial trend line right now. And I think it's going to take, obviously, some pretty good momentum to break this to the upside. And once it does, I feel like Baba might keep going. So I want to show you guys this trend line on the max daily chart because it's kind of insane. I know I showed this earlier, but we'll bring it back up so you can see how this trend line has been holding up for a long time. Of course, we might slightly break above it every once in a while, because obviously no trend line is 100% perfect. But you can see that overall this trend has been insane to the downside right below this line, and now we're starting to like flatten off and squeeze right here at the bottom on Baba. So I think that there's a good chance we might start breaking this back to the upside here soon. So I like it, J Deep, but just keep in mind, we are seeing that bounce off of it right now to the downside. So it's very interesting, but you would think maybe we would start to fall, but just keep in mind, it's not like we're bouncing off of this trend line, back at like $175 or anything like that. We're all the way down now, like under 100, and it looks like the stock is actually starting to flatten out a little bit, which is good. I know the last time we flattened out, we still ended up going down, but just keep in mind, guys, at some point these stocks are going to start recovering, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later with these China stocks. The good thing is the China stocks like to move with a mind of their own, so that's good. Yeah, George, LI, XPEV, Neo probably. Let's see, NIO. Yeah, Neo's down too. So yeah, definitely down today with the China stocks, George. It's definitely not good to see with those. But overall, the rest of the growth plays have still been holding up quite well. Looks like DraftKings is getting rejected at that 1460 resistance, which sucks to see. But it looks like Square is still holding up pretty well. I noticed, guys, RKLB, another one of those space companies, was doing well again today. It's actually ripping up intraday, almost up to around like $5 or so. So, this is actually a pretty good move out of the space stock, RKLB. I don't know if you guys have ever looked up RKLB or not, but I've done a little bit of research about them. Whenever I look at RKLB, I really like what I see, like with their rockets and stuff like that. Just keep in mind, it's a little bit scary. RKLB is, it's just one of those deals where whenever you're looking at stocks like these space stocks, it's very difficult to pick a stock like them because it's very hard to look at their numbers overall because they're like brand new companies. But then number two, they have all these crazy issues. Like if there's a crash, then their stock goes crazy, and it's also very difficult to just pick one out because we have SpaceX out here kind of like leading the game with rockets and everything like that. And now we have RKLB joining the mix. We have ASTR coming in. I know SPCE's out there, but they're not really a rocket company. They're more of like a space tourism company. But it's very hard to gauge the space stocks right now. I feel like that will be more of a booming sector though over the next like 5 to 10 years. And I will say I definitely expect more space stocks and different things like that to start coming out. I will say I'm not saying to get the ARK funds here, but ARK does have a space exploration ETF, which is interesting to look at. They actually hold some stocks like John Deere in it, and a lot of stocks you wouldn't kind of think about. But this is one of the ARK funds that I semi like. Just keep in mind though, I would rather than buying the ARK fund, I would rather just make my own fund with my own like little portfolio. So like if instead of buying into the ARKX fund and having to deal with Kathy Wood and all that stuff, I would rather just built this, for example, make a new brokerage account maybe, and then use that brokerage account and then just buy up maybe some individual space stocks you want, maybe like SPCE, ASTR, Rocket Lab, whatever it is, like you can pick out your own rather than having to deal with, someone like Kathy Wood trying to manage it for you. Because we know that lately that hasn't went the best, to say the least. But what has done good is Berkshire Hathaway. Berk A and Berk B have been exploding up continuously over the past few years. Of course, they're pulling back now a little bit, but look at the explosion that Berk A has been having. Berk B has very similar movement, of course. It's just a different class of shares. You can see Berk B is starting to bounce maybe off that like $300 support here. But my main point is, look at how much better of a manager, like for example, like Warren Buffett and a lot of his analysts have been with some of these safer companies that actually have like good cash flow and stuff compared to like ARKK. It's like, sure, ARKK did well in the beginning, but man, it turned over so hard. Like honestly, like Berk B and Berk A have been performing so well. It's like man, like some of these stocks are a little undervalued in my opinion, or underrated, I guess you could say. Everyone always talks about Kathy Wood, but I always gravitate towards guys like Warren Buffett and people like that. I will say it's been helping me a lot the past few months. I've been holding a lot of stocks like Kraft Heinz and stocks like that were holding up a lot better during a lot of this downwards action this year. So that was good to see. Hopefully the growth stocks start to pop now if some of these value plays start pulling back. But in general, that was just my main point is, we can always don't always forget about good old like Warren Buffett and people like that. Those funds are awesome. Yeah, and like Hunter said, don't forget the ARK funds take 0.75% of your money just for holding it while they underperform the market too. That's a good point. Those funds are always charging fees and different things like that. So Yeah, really good point there, Hunter. That's just another issue to add on to that. So just make your own brokerage account, guys, and do make your own little ETF. You know, that's the that would be the way I did it. And hell, you could even do it with an IRA almost if you wanted to. But yeah, look at that SPY. I mean, SPY's running up today, guys. We're breaking above 410 now in a big way. So Paul, I know you asked about the next level on the SPY earlier, and it's starting to really run up here. Yeah, good morning, Brad. Thanks for joining up today. Hopefully we can see some nice movement out of the market to end the week. You know, so far today, it's definitely still explosive. So I'll take it, guys. You know, like I said earlier, ever since we broke out of that nice, oh man, why does this 180-day 1-hour chart not work on the SPY? Like, do you guys have any ideas why this is not working? I'm gonna have to figure this thing out here. Let's see. Edit. Instead of 180 days, let's try 360 days instead. Here we go. We'll just try 360 days. Maybe that'll be better for it. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, same thing. I don't know what's going on with the SPY here. This is very weird, guys. I cannot tell you what's going on with this 1-hour chart, but as we can see here on the, I'll have to make it a 4-hour chart now. But what my main point is here is, like, look at this big channel here on the SPY. Like, we're finally breaking this back to the upside. I'm curious how much longer we're going to go up for, because it's starting to get pretty explosive. But yeah, guys, I don't know what's going on with this chart here. Like, these 1-hour charts, for some reason on SPY, on Thinkorswim, are not working. If you guys can confirm that for me, that would be awesome, because I don't know if it's just me or what it is, but for some reason, my 1-hour charts on the SPY only show like 1 day back, which is pretty insane. Like, for example, like, look at this. I'll seriously, I'll set it to 90 days, 1-hour chart. Yeah, 90 days, 1 hours, apply, okay. And then I'll go to it, click it, and it only shows 1 day back. Yeah, that is so weird. I don't know what is going on with this. I'll have to see what's going on with this one, guys. Maybe I need to, like, clear my cookies, or I have no idea, but that is strange. So but yeah, either way, the SPY has been moving very well lately. So I'll just throw up the 4-hour chart. That'll get the point across, I think, good enough anyways. Here, I might as well just make it a full year at that point. There we go. Nice. Oh, wow, the 1-hour chart came in now. There we go. I guess it was just loading, Hunter. I have no idea what it was doing there, but now it came through. So that is very strange. I guess maybe Thinkorswim was having a hiccup for me or something, but yeah, as we can see here, though, this is the main channel on the SPY, and I'm not saying the channel is what is causing this movement up, of course, but you can see, like, we've been really starting to break out of this, and ever since the initial break, we've been having some pretty nice back-to-back green days, so very nice to see us finally moving out of this. You know, it was also looking like a pretty nice bottom was forming anyways, and there was a bit of like an inverse head and shoulders pattern there as well. So overall, those technicals were lining up very, very well. Hunter says better off buying SPY or VOO with an expense ratio of 0.01% instead of 0.75%, and they match the market. Yeah, that's a good point, Hunter. Really good point. Really good point there. Yeah, that is true. I can't believe how high some of those funds fees are. You know, it's kind of insane to see how much money they end up taking, and you know, like people like Kathy Wood are probably rolling in the dough, even though those funds are now even below like pre-pandemic levels. So yeah, it's kind of insane, and I'm sure a lot of traders have been kind of like buying into her stuff a lot lately, Hunter, as well. You know, just helping those fees go up even more. You know, every time she makes a crazy statement during one of her you know, interviews, I'm sure people flock into those funds, and it definitely helps her. I bet that her analyst, Hunter, I bet that they actually sit down and they probably tell Kathy Wood, they're probably like, hey, you know, on average, whenever you speak about these stocks, you know, this much money flows into the funds over the next couple months. So, hey, maybe you should speak about them again. You know, I bet they have some weird stuff that they go over like that, where, you know, maybe every time that she speaks, you know, they make however many millions because of people buying into the funds based off the interview or something. You know, I'm sure that there's some numbers out there like that they look at for sure. But yeah, either way, ARKK is running up the past week at least. You know, it's doing okay the past week, and I will say if these growth plays start coming back for us, it's definitely going to help out ARKK and different stocks like that. So, I guess if she does good, I'll take it. It's just obviously ARKK has a long way to go back up. They're going to need like Zoom and Teladoc and all those stocks to pop like all like right at the same time. And they're going to have to go almost all the way back up to highs to save it almost. It's like when you realize how high she's in too, it's kind of insane. But I know we've talked about her a lot the past week, so I don't want to harp on her too bad, especially while ARKK is going up this week at least. So, but yeah, looking at these stocks today, guys, on my watch list here, Rocket Lab is still leading the way, up now 8.5%. I know this one's almost like a penny stock now, down around $5, but hey, it's still having some good movement. I'm noticing Fubo is up like 4.6%. They're starting to move up, so that's nice for Vicky if she's watching. I know she's always been liking Fubo lately. AMD guys started pulling back. We're now kind of straddling like right around $100, so we'll have to see how that goes today. Intel's pulling back up, I'll say, guys. This is actually coming back in a pretty nice way, Intel is. So maybe eye up Intel here. It's back above this low here around like 43.40 or 43.50, and I'll take the good movement out of them for sure, especially on days where AMD is down. I noticed though Nvidia was still doing pretty good. Yeah, they're up like 2.4%. Still running up a little bit here. I noticed SoFi is also up, guys, and this one's breaking a pretty good resistance from earlier in the week, right around $7.40. I don't know if you guys are interested in SoFi, but man, they are really running, and for the longer term, it seems like a pretty good pickup down here at the lows. Just keep in mind, they have a long way to go. They're obviously a brand new company, and they've, I will say, the way they ran down to $4.82 was brutal there. So be careful with some of these stocks that are low, guys. Not everything's going to recover, of course, but there is some pretty good opportunities to say the least. I will say one stock that's catching my eyes is Moderna. It's been really bouncing down here around this big support at like 122. It's now all the way back up above 140, and I feel like this one can end up popping possibly back up to around $200 over the next couple months, maybe if we start to go on like a little uptrend, maybe even for the next couple weeks we might be able to get there if this momentum continues. This stock has definitely had those types of moves in the past, so yeah, it looks like Moderna is actually doing quite well today, believe it or not. Let's see. Hunter goes, don't hate me, Tom, but I want Intel to stop going up. I don't want to roll my covered call. Oh, yeah, you're in those 45 covered calls, aren't you, Hunter? You're right. You're right, they are. I remember that, actually, now that you said that. It's those 45, I think, covered calls there. Yeah, I was talking about getting those, maybe, and I'm honestly glad I didn't at this point, because if I would have had to roll it out or lose my shares, I would have been a little bit sad there. But yeah, that's crazy. I hope Intel maybe slows down here, Hunter. It looks like they're coming up into some pretty big resistances around 45. So I have a huge resistance on my chart posted at 45. Although I will say I've seen more of the price action seems like it's happening right around 44. So I don't know, but yeah, hopefully it slows down around 45 for you, Hunter. I won't hate you for Intel, I will say if you said that with DraftKings though, I'll be a little bit upset. As long as DraftKings keeps ripping up, I'll take the movement with Intel no matter which way it goes. But yeah, DraftKings is, at least that one's in the green today, again up 2%. It's trying to come back for us, so that's good to see. At least I'm glad to see good old DraftKings trying to pop back. So I'll take that movement there. It's definitely relieving. But yeah, hopefully these other chip plays can keep going up too, Hunter, like AMD and Nvidia. I know that, like we talk about, some of them are definitely a little bit overvalued, and especially in the short term. But I hope that they can still start ripping up, at least maybe as the market continues up here. I will say some stocks that have been a little bit interesting to me, guys. Let me know how you guys feel. Is some stocks like UPS and FedEx. I noticed like the United Parcel Service is starting to really rip up. When I look at that like max daily chart here, UPS recently had a pretty big dip to the downside. I noticed FedEx has been bouncing off a huge support down here around $200 as well. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but these seem like some pretty good plays here. Like they could obviously keep going down a little bit, especially if the market turns back around. But still, I would love to see this come back up. And in the end here, FedEx running up can be pretty good. I will say, if it looks like a nice support's forming actually. UPS has been more parabolic. Like they were holding up a lot longer than FedEx, where I think FedEx is looking like a pretty good support play down here. So maybe eye that up if you like it. Hunter goes, DraftKings can rip up as much as it wants because the first day we have some red in the market, it will cough it all back up. Yeah, you're probably right, Hunter. It probably will, unfortunately. I hope that it can maybe get back up to like $20 and start holding some good ground. You know, like we need a good move back to the upside here with DraftKings. I need it to maybe come back to 20. I will say though, as long as it stays like above 10 and just keeps consolidating, I'll take that movement too. It's just, yeah, you're definitely right here. Every time we try to come back with DraftKings, we end up giving it right back. Same thing with Zoom, Palantir, and stocks like that. They've all been having those same terrible moves lately. So, man, I hope DraftKings can come back here. It's we better hope the market stays green then, Hunter, so it doesn't come back down. You know, hopefully we just see continued green movement with the SPY. That's all we need. I wonder how many potential green days in a row we could have, because you know that market's been awfully low lately. How many green days in a row are we at now? Let's see. We have, I guess I'll just say technical green days on the chart. Now you can tell like there was a green candle on May 24th, but you know the market still technically like was down that day. You know, it's not like for example, it's a green candle, but you know technically was down. So like you can see the SPY on that day. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5 green candles on the daily chart in a row. So we'll have to see how many we can really have. You might want to just say 3 if you're not counting those 2 weird consolidation days there. But yeah, 3 pretty much, but technically 5. So I wonder how many we can have. You know, we might get up to like 6 or 7 maybe. I'd love to see SPY get maybe up to 420 again. That would be a nice level. I know that's a big level there. Elon loves 420 too. So hopefully we see it come up and touch 420 for us. That could be nice. And talking about 420, I noticed that Canopy Growth actually reported earnings today, believe it or not, and they were kind of pulling back to the downside today. So that's rough. You know, those cannabis stocks are still falling off. They're down 15% today. Look at the max daily chart here for good old CGC. And guys, I will say, I was in this beginning uptrend on CGC, and I will say I made a ton of money on the way up here. It was a pretty crazy position actually at the time, like when it was initially going. And I will say I sold at the top, and then I rebought at the top, and then lost it all back. So it was kind of funny with these marijuana plays. But you know, obviously I still won on it a little bit, but you know, I definitely could have won a lot more than I ended up with. But yeah, these were some very parabolic moves, and it just sucks to see it now all the way down around $4.70. Yeah, I remember actually me and my grandfather who got me into trading were getting CGC back in the beginning. That's why I have all these drawings on here. I guess I never cleared my chart from back in the day. But yeah, that's pretty cool, guys. You know, you can go back sometimes and see some drawings you had from back in 2018. That's pretty funny, guys. I don't know if you guys ever see that on your charts or not, but yeah, I never cleared the drawings, I guess, with good old CGC here. But very interesting. I wonder how Tilray looks on a max daily. Yeah, they look very rough to say the least as well. Maybe like Kronos. Kronos looks a little bit better, I'll say. One of my favorite marijuana stocks has been PLNHF, but obviously it's been on a big downtrend again, back to the downside. The reason I like Planet 13 is that it operates a lot in the United States, and they have big dispensaries in California and in Las Vegas. And I know that their Las Vegas one should be doing pretty good, as long as Vegas is doing good, because man, that place is man, I went to Vegas once, and the guy was like, I was like, what the hell is this big line for? And then we drove past the building, and he's like, that's for Planet 13 there. It's the biggest dispensary down here. They said it's like Walmart or something. And I've never been in it, but hey, it sounds really cool. I did walk into some of those smaller ones though, because I didn't feel like waiting into like 2 hour lines. And man, those stores are very interesting. I can't believe how interesting they actually are. Kind of, I would think they'd make a lot of money too. I'll tell you, those places were packed. But yeah, either way, yeah, the marijuana stocks are definitely not doing good. So CGC, came in rough on the earnings here again. It just seems like they're having a lot of issues getting going here. So that sucks to see, guys. I don't know if you guys are into the marijuana stocks. If you are, let me know which ones you'd like to see. But overall, they are definitely going crazy. George says, look at Matterport, Tom. Let's check it. Let's check it out here. Yeah. Wow, Matterport's almost at their high of day. They haven't really fallen off. They've been pretty much straight up all morning. So yeah, thanks for pointing that one out, George. I love Matterport. I love whenever they're moving. They generally run up with Unity. Yeah, Unity's doing pretty good. Unity, Matterport, and Roblox are all part of those like metaverse stocks that we're all kind of running up this past November. So very interesting still to see them moving. But yeah, Matterport is really running up here. This is a very explosive stock today, I'll say, to say the least. And I'm not too sure it can keep going. It's already up 7%. It definitely can. I mean, a lot of stocks lately have been popping for 10% plus, but it's definitely overextended in the middle of the day for sure. I just be careful with it if you guys are looking to day trade it, but hopefully she keeps going. I'm definitely glad to see this uptrend though. I will say, if you guys were grabbing this one yesterday before market close for a nice swing or something, that could have made for a really good trade. And lots of stocks yesterday obviously would have been pretty good to pick up right before close. I know DraftKings was like right on that big support there at like 14.20. I'm really glad to see them still holding up. They're holding up very well this morning still. It looks like they might be trying to actually go for like a second leg up. Actually, yeah, Mike just came in and said, I need DraftKings back up to $50 just to break even. So, wow, yeah, that's pretty big, Mike. I know $50 is a long way away for DraftKings, but I will say there's a lot of people who are into DraftKings very, very high there. Mike, I don't know what you've been doing lately, but hopefully you've been selling some covered calls on the way down. That could have definitely been helping out your position here. Personally on DraftKings, I'm in more around like, I think like $20, $25, somewhere like between there, I think. Let me double check here. Yeah, like $25, somewhere like right around 25. I'm trying to get a little bit more averaged in, of course. Obviously, I've been averaging in for a while, probably since, I think I've been averaging in since around like $30 on DraftKings. Yeah, ever since $30, I've been kind of averaging in. Slowly bringing my average now down a little bit more. I was sitting on DraftKings for a while. I will say, I was somebody, I traded it on this dip up here at the top. I ended up buying it on the trend line, and it not on the trend line. Like, I bought it on the dip. It just happened to be on the trend line though. But it ended up coming up, touching this resistance. I think I sold it somewhere around $60 here up at the top, and then just held cash for a while as it fell. And I've been slowly averaging back in now, and I can't wait to see it keep going up. If it goes up, back up to $50, like you said, where you need it to, Mike, like up to 50, I'll be very, very happy. So hopefully we just continue to see the nice movement with it. And I think over the longer term, DraftKings can go much higher than $50. I will say, guys, it's been pretty crazy to see how much sports betting has been getting implemented into society. Like, it's been very, very, very crazy to say the least. So, like, you can go on now ESPN, you go on anything, and it gives you like Vegas odds, like right there. It's kind of insane, actually, to see it all. Like, you go to just a random website, and you start seeing like odds of like what's happening here, and like all this, like, for example, like you'll see like minus 120 for the baseball games, and this team has a 30% chance to win based on analytics, and you'll start to see a lot of stuff, guys. And I've been like watching ESPN on the TV, and all those odds start flying up, and they even have TV shows where they start talking about their like favorite picks for the day, and all that type of stuff. So it's starting to get kind of crazy with sports betting. And I will say, just be careful with it, guys. You know, like as I endorse the stocks, keep in mind sports betting itself is very, very risky. Very few people truly win on it. You know, a lot of people, they like to act like they win, or, you know, they'll go on like short-term winning streaks with it and do very, very well. But in the end, it's a very hard thing. You know, I've done a little bit of it over the past couple of years, like with baseball and some stuff like that. And, you know, I will say I made a few grand on it, but, you know, I did end up losing like a couple grand of that back. So I am up a little bit, but obviously not a whole lot. But lately I haven't even been doing it because it's just it's a very crazy thing, guys. It's just it's not the best thing to do. You know, obviously it's better to, in my opinion, to put your money into stocks and stuff like that. I know some people do like sports betting though, and I'm sure a lot of people in here probably like to do it quite often. So I don't know. I personally though, my state's not legalized, so it's not even like a really good thing for me to even really do here, because it's not legal in my state. So maybe it will be though. I will say there's some bills going around Missouri called Show Me Sports Betting. So they call Missouri the Show Me State. So I guess they're trying to, you know, legalize sports betting, and if they do, maybe that'll help DraftKings go up. You know, I can't wait. Hopefully DraftKings keeps popping with like Caesars and all those other stocks. I hope that they keep recovering back up. I've noticed like Caesars, guys, is very, very low here. If you guys are interested in them, that could be a great pickup here for the long term. Just keep in mind, obviously, their revenue is going to be all over the place. I will say some stuff that matters a lot with Caesars is going to be obviously their hotels and different stuff like that too. So hopefully they can keep doing well with all of that different stuff. I know Penn Gaming is also extremely low right now. We're now back below pre-pandemic levels, so that's pretty big. And there's a big supporter at like $20 on Penn, but man, I hope we don't get there, because Penn's been one of those stocks I'd love to see go back up. Like if you guys are into like casino stocks or anything like that, Penn is a pretty I'm not going to say like a pretty good, you know, company. Obviously they've been falling down a lot here. But I like just like a growth stock over the past couple of years. MGM is probably the best, you know, casino slash resort stock if you really want to get one like that. But I will say Penn has a lot of potential back to the upside. Like, you know, you could have some very nice percentages back up here. Like we're only at $32 and we were at, you know, $45, $46 just a few weeks ago. So from where we are now back up to like 45 would be like a 38% uptrend there, guys. Like, yeah, that's pretty big for some of these stocks. Like 38% is huge. So yeah, that is very telling, and that's a big deal with Penn Gaming actually. And I know that some of these big guys, like I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dave Portnoy or not, but man, good old Dave Portnoy with Barstool Sports, he also has a lot of stuff going on with Penn Gaming. He owns a lot of them. I think Penn Gaming might have bought out Barstool Sports or something. And either way, though, Portnoy acquired a ton of shares of Penn Gaming, and it's been very crazy to say the least with Penn. It's been a brutal downtrend, and I bet Portnoy has been pissed with the way it's been moving, because I've seen that guy get pretty angry during some of his live streams. It's pretty funny to watch him, you know, get all pissed. I've seen him lose a lot of money too in the market. I can't remember what he was trading a lot, but I think Lulu maybe trading like some options on Lulu, like weekly options, ended up losing like 200 grand or something, I thought, but maybe that was on AMC. But either way, he ended up losing a lot on that. But if you guys have any stocks you want me to cover, just let me know. You know, it's been a great end of the week. Stocks are holding up pretty well as of now. As we can see, the SPY is moving very well here on these daily charts. Like I said before, it's breaking out of that key channel that I love to see. It's definitely still breaking out. We're up to the high of day again, 411, almost 412 there actually. So it's still running. I mean, I would expect a pullback at some point here, guys, but man, this momentum is amazing. It's really running up. So yeah, glad to see the market up, guys. You know, if you guys are glad to see the market up too, don't forget to hit that like button. We're at 10 likes. You know, every day we'd love to try to get to 20 likes. That would be a pretty big goal there. But yeah, just 10 likes away. So if you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please consider doing so. It will definitely help out. But yeah, SPY's running up, guys. Glad to continue just to see this very nice movement on this beautiful Friday morning. You know, it's very relieving. It's better than pulling back. A lot of people were kind of expecting the market down because of how much upwards movement we've had lately, but you know, we've been continuing, so that's great. I will say Zoom is pulling back a little bit. You know, we talked about this in last night's video that Zoom and a couple other stocks were getting overextended and they could pull back a little bit, but yeah, so Zoom is pulling back. Looks like DraftKings is also just like staying very stagnant right now today. Hopefully they can continue to break out here. Looks like DraftKings might try to go up and break that like 1466 resistance here. That's a very big level, and if we break that, I have a feeling DraftKings might start to get a pretty good move to the upside. You know, it's looking very, very strong here. So yeah, it's been a great morning, great week, guys. Glad to be in here. I know we got some golf talk in earlier in the week with Sean, and that was hilarious to see there. Brad was talking about golf too. Dang says AMC, since you mentioned them, Tom. LOL. Let's see. AMC, yeah, they're still running up today. Glad to see him get this second leg. At market open, I saw him become extremely shaky, but yeah, they continued up here up to 1330. What's the high here today? Around 1336, 1338. So glad to see that running up like that, dang. That's very nice to see. Yeah, good morning, B Square. Glad to see you joining the live stream today. If you have anything you want me to cover, B Square, just let me know. You know, always glad to look at anything you want, or go ahead and help you out, or anything like that. Maybe get some nice day trades going. You know, hopefully we can find some good momentum plays here. But yeah, Danks had to look at AMC since I mentioned it, and yeah, it sure is up today, 6.8%, up to $13 now. So it is recovering. I will say there's a long way back up here. We need to start coming back up into that $15 resistance again. I think that's going to be pretty crucial for this week. $15 will be big there. After that, I'm going to look at $20, of course. But yeah, $15 will be the first major level I'm hoping that AMC can start to run back up towards. We're only like $2 away from it as of this very moment. So I think there's a good chance that maybe we could get there with AMC. My only problem is when. And then also that IV at the bottom is 184%. So that's showing that just, you know, AMC options are going to be insane. George says DraftKings is going to go. There it goes. There it goes up to 1467, George. It's starting to look very, very good. Raymond says the day trade ZIM to the downside. Wow, this one's really falling off. I actually don't know too much about ZIM, Raymond, but yeah, it's really falling down, and I would agree. This one looks like a pretty good move down. It does look like it's starting to come back up a little bit, but yeah. Going back to DraftKings though, it just broke 1466, guys. It hit 1467, so not necessarily the clearest break in the world yet, but we are starting to see it move well. So as we can see on this 90-day 5-minute chart, there's been a lot of crazy movement this week, and I really hope that good old DraftKings can maybe start to break that here. It looks like we're definitely going to try here, so hopefully she keeps running for us. Definitely make for some great intraday movement and just movement overall. Looks like Zoom here is actually looking very, very well also. So yeah, sitting up here, still up above like 105, trying to have like a second leg back up. So yeah, even Zoom looks good here with DraftKings. Obviously, it's not breaking highs or breaking out or anything like that, but definitely is looking hot. Going back to DraftKings though, now we're up to 1465. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and watch DraftKings for a few seconds, guys. Just maybe like wait for this nice break here. Maybe I'll put the price line right there at that high, and we'll just sit here and just kind of like wait to see how the price action goes. Because as we know, you know, DraftKings has been one of my favorites over the past couple years, and if we could maybe break out here and start to run up towards $15, it would make for some great intraday movement. It looks like though that this 1466 or 1467 resistance is holding up a little bit, so that is slightly worrying to me that this is holding up. But yeah, it's not good there. hopefully we can start to break out again, guys. I think DraftKings has a good chance, even though we're pulling back a little bit here. I still think there's a good chance to potentially still break out above these big resistance levels here. Herb says, check out, or no, he says, good morning, Tom. Can you take a look at ZS and Snow? Thanks. For sure, for sure. Let's check out good old ZS here. Z-Scaler. Wow, this one's really popping up here, Herb. I know this one was running up a lot into earnings, and wow, it is really coming back up. Yeah, I like this setup a lot, Herb. And look at ZS actually. It's been bouncing right off of the 1,000 SMA here, which is pretty big. You know, that's the 1,000 simple moving average. Stocks, I won't say they usually bounce here, but sometimes, you know, we see stocks move off these 1,000 SMAs in pretty big ways, and the 1,000 EMA. You know, they generally are around the same price. So looking at it though, ZS is really getting a nice move up. I really like this one, Herb. I will say though, as far as like intraday movement goes, this one's going to be tough to trade. Like, you might be able to catch some quick momentum right now. Like, if you entered and the stock continues up, maybe that'll be a nice scalp there, like up to 160 or something like that. But I will say, just be very, very careful with ZS. It's already up a lot today, up 10%. So it's going to be tough to day trade, but I feel like holding it for like maybe the next few weeks, or if you like it for the longer term, it's still a really good pickup here. So I definitely like the price action though, and to me, it's just a good momentum play. Snow, for example, though, I know they have been all over the place, right? Yeah, with their earnings this week, they kind of fell down. They came right back up. Now today, they're just kind of consolidating. This one's not my favorite setup. I still like Snow for the longer term. It's just in the short term here, they're having a lot of issues. It's kind of like a Zoom, kind of like any of those other growth stocks that we've seen lately. They've just been getting destroyed. If the growth plays keep popping, I think that Snow still has a good chance to come up. It's just obviously they've been missing on earnings, and they obviously didn't have a good reaction to that past report. So it was brutal there. They did recover back up the next day, but keep in mind they probably recovered up because every single growth stock was up like 10% plus. But yeah, Snowflake is pretty good here. I think it'll be a good longer term play again. In the short term though, I don't really like Snowflake too much. I feel like ZS at least has some good intraday momentum, but both of them I think will be decent over the next like 5 years or so, Herb. So keep that in mind. It's just all shorter term stuff it's really 50-50. You know, like you see shorter term movement, and it's hard to kind of tell like exactly, you know, like which way it's going to go. Obviously, within one given day, it's always very, very difficult to do that. That's why only like 5% of people, or like probably less, like 2% of people are successful day traders. Sorry about that, guys. I had to grab a quick drink there. But yeah, overall today we're seeing very great movement. So thank you guys for joining up today. I definitely appreciate it. Raymond, Herb, George, B Square, Dang, Mike, Hunter, J Deep, Sean, of course, Paul. Thank you guys so much for joining. Bouncing Off. That's a funny name, Bouncing. I love that. I didn't even see that one earlier. That's hilarious. G Rocha, Jamie, Vicky. Thank you guys so much for joining. You know, I always appreciate you guys joining up and showing us some amazing support in here. And thanks for all the comments, guys. I really appreciate all of the stocks that we look at and everything like that. It's always good to get some nice conversations going with some of these different scenarios. But yeah, George, like you said, charge points up now 10%. That is an amazing move up here. So all the way up to $13 and even higher. So that is amazing, George. That's a big pop. Actually, charge point, look at that daily chart. We're actually coming back now in a pretty good way with charge points. So that's good to see. It looks like we're going to have earnings this upcoming Tuesday. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking at charge point here, George. These earnings are very, very soon. And I hope that charge point can report some good numbers because, man, this movement has been explosive. I mean, over the past few days, you could have probably made 30% on charge point. Let's see. From the low to now, yeah, like 27, almost 30% if it continues up here. So, yeah, definitely moving in a big, big way, George. Charge point, I bet Blink's running like this too. Yeah, BLNK has a very nice intraday move going on as well. What do we have? We have Charge Point, Blink. What was the other charging stock? Man, I always remember them, but now it's just like not on. It's not. I just can't bring it up. Let's see. Look at my watch list here. Figured out here. Blink, Charge Point. We have nope. It's not Run. Not Run. Lucid. AAL. Let's see. Good old Neo. It's funny looking at Neo there, but man, there's so many of these like EV charging stocks now. It's kind of insane to see how many there are. Like it's kind of brutal actually. Let's see. Good old RUN. Yeah, it's not RUN. I know it's not them. Let's see. Charge Point. We have Charge Point. Blink. What was the last one? I can't remember it for the life of me, guys. Do you guys remember the last one? Plug. Hunter got it. Good old Plug Power. That's what it is. Plug. That is it. 6.8%. Glad to see them up too. But yeah, that's funny. Sometimes, man, there's so many stocks in the market. It's hard to remember. What are they up? 7%? Yeah, there it is on my watch list there. So EVGO. George said EVGO. I forgot about them. I forgot about EVGO, but yeah, they're even up today too, up to $9.96. They're having a pretty good pop today. Their daily chart looks pretty good too. Raymond says VLTA. Let's see, Volta. I've only heard about this one a little bit on the way down here, but yeah, wow, this one is having a pretty good recovery too. Yeah, great call outs, guys. It could have been any of those, but yeah, it was Plug. But yeah, thanks for helping me out there, man. Sometimes there's so many stocks in the market. It's insane. The ones that always get me are some of those semiconductor plays like Micron, Qualcomm, AMD, Nvidia, man, like MRVL. Like there's so many of these semiconductors out there. It's so easy to forget. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining today. I appreciate it. George says DraftKings broke out. Yeah, up to 1473, having a very nice move here. Now 1475. There we go. Gotta love that movement there. This is great, actually. Thanks for pointing that out, George. Yeah, look at that. It's starting to really move. I wonder how high we're going to get today, guys. I'm hoping we can run up to like $15. And with the way we're breaking out now, I think that is 100% a good possibility. So, yeah, it's been a pretty crazy move here with DraftKings. I'm glad to see it finally moving up. So, yeah, it's been a great week, guys. Overall, I hope that next week goes as well as this week has, because, man, if we can continue this uptrend, it will make for some amazing movement, and hopefully this is the bottom. You know, obviously it's very hard to call the bottom, but personally, I don't think it's the bottom yet, but hey, hopefully it is. You know, if it is, I'll take it. If not, well, then I'm going to get to buy stocks at a lot lower prices. So, yeah, hopefully next week goes well, guys. Hopefully we can get some more nice green price action, some nice green momentum. That SPY's all the way up to 412 today. Can't believe we're still breaking out. Yeah, it's been having an amazing breakout out of that channel we were in, and just overall great movement off of these lows here. And we're back above 400, so that's always a big psychological level. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for joining up, all the nice comments and everything like that. It's been a pretty good week overall. You know, I'll take the green movement. So hopefully you guys can have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend too. You know, I probably won't see you guys until till Monday morning. So have a good one. Hopefully we have some good movement. Don't forget to watch Futures Sunday night though. Futures will open Sunday night, depending on where you live, around like 5 or 6 p.m. So just be on the lookout for that. Maybe we can see a nice uptrend continue Sunday night. But have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later.